What is up, everybody? This is Atticus, the Death Meddler, and for this video, we are going to be talking about Vegan Gains and the recent shit that he put himself into. Now, I did not hear about this motherfucker until what he recently did, and oh my god. When I heard about this guy and what he did, I almost fucking blew a casket and wrecked my entire rental room and my rental house. Thankfully, I'm back from Palm Coast and did not leave a scratch there at all. It was pretty fun having me and my family over, but a little bit off topic. Now, I gotta thank my friends, Thrash Metal Guru, Official GATG, Damien Skyfire, The Mage of Breath, Mortified Productions, Some Guy 827, and the Robert Frosts for their videos on this motherfucker. Now, Vegan Gains is one of those vegans, you know, like Onision and Freely the Vegan Nazi, whom I've made a video on a couple months ago. But this guy went as far as to recording a video of his grandfather suffering and dying from a fucking heart attack as the paramedics came in. You know, back in the day, it was all about, helping your relatives, your loved ones out if they're dying from a heart attack. But no. You gotta record a fucking video as they're fucking suffering. And of course, he had to take the video down because of his family. And look how it reacts to his family and relatives telling him to take that video down.
I was planning on showing you guys footage of my grandfather actually having the heart attack. As soon as the paramedics got to the house, I took out my camera and started filming. But, a bunch of people in my family, my mom, my grandmother, uncles, shit like that, they threw a big fucking fit about me showing that footage on YouTube. They're perfectly fucking fine with eating foods that cause fucking heart disease and make people actually die of fucking heart attacks. But when it comes to actually showing people what happens when they eat these foods, that's just too much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the asshole grandson of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, Vegan Gains. You're a fucking lunatic, you prick! I am just absolutely baffled at this point. Normally I don't outburst over here, but god fucking damn it! I just want to just beat the shit out of you. It does not end here. You need to listen to what he said at his funeral.
And I just got back from the funeral thing that we had. It wasn't exactly a funeral, but a bunch of family got together and I was dragged to it. But anyway,
what can I say? What can I fucking say over here? Vegan Gains. There is no way that a normal person would react to a fucking funeral. I remember when I attended my Uncle Phil's funeral, he died from chronic alcoholism and chain smoking, which was pretty fucking tragic. I was trying my damnedest to hold back the tears while I was comforting an old woman who was bawling her eyes out. And seeing my aunt, my dad's sister, my uncle's wife, who was a very positive person in my life, seeing her burst in tears made me fucking lose it. Losing a loved one really hits you hard. And you are a prime example of a fucking sociopath, you fucking asshole. Here's another thing that really gets it very fishy from here to where he talks about how he and his grandfather was showing off some drones. He had to make him walk up on a hill.
So we went over to the park right down the street, and we headed down to the ravine to launch the drone from. And there's a bit of a hill going down. So we flew the drone, you know, he thought it was really cool and everything. We had to walk back up the hill, and he was really struggling, and it's not really that big of a hill, and it's not that hard to climb, and even an 82-year-old should be able to get up just fine. But he had to stop like every 10, 20 feet, and he was huffing and puffing, and I looked at him and I said, you know, you have a really shitty diet, and you need to, you know, clean your diet up and start exercising. And then he said, oh, it's bullshit, you know, I'm just not 24 anymore, that's why I'm having such a hard time climbing up this hill.
All I gotta say is that there's something very fishy over you vegan gains. You're going around saying that, you know, a normal vegan diet elderly person, he would not be doing huffing and puffing over this while climbing up a hill. I'm sorry, Mr. Einstein, but if you're in your fucking 80s, you're gonna have a lot of problems. You're getting old. You're deteriorating. My grandmother is 89 fucking years old. And there was one time where I had to help her up the stairs in my place to get to my room to watch Schindler's List over that TV back there. Yeah! Plus, she's also very hypersensitive over freezing, over cold temperatures, so I had to bring a lot of blankets for her. Now, I also have to say this, vegan gains. I never had the luxury. I never had the privilege in meeting my grandfather. Wanna know why? Because a long time ago, way before I was born, late at night, my grandfather put on his bathrobe and walked down the stairs, but fell down to the very bottom and died from a heart attack. The next morning, my family members, my relatives, saw him on the bottom of the stairs and called 911, but it was too late. My grandfather died on that night. And did my relatives, did my mother go around saying, you know what, that's it, I'm being vegan? No. They took this as a lesson here to balance your diet, your meats, your fruits, your veggies, your nuts, your dairy products. All of that shit should be in a balanced position. Your fucking food pyramid. The next thing that he is saying just absolutely shocks me.
Now, how do I feel about him being dead? I'm actually happy. I've had a pretty rocky relationship with him, especially when I was a little kid. He was pretty abusive. He'd yell at me like fucking crazy, call me like a worthless piece of fucking shit if I didn't play well in hockey. He did hit me maybe 2 or 3 times pretty hard, and after that I was just scared of him my entire childhood, and as an adult, I ended up having a friend relationship with him, but I didn't realize until he was dead how much anxiety I had still being around him. Just these subconscious feelings were always there, but I just didn't realize till now, and I feel better with him being dead. I know my grandmother isn't happy about it. I don't know entirely how my mom feels, but she was crying about it. His other sons, you know, they were upset, but I feel pretty happy about the whole situation, and I just feel like a weight's being lifted off my chest.
Now, surprisingly, I could agree/disagree with vegan gains here. Because you know what? A lot of your relatives, you're going to have those relatives in your life that are going to be complete fucking assholes and be completely abusive towards you. My trans friend Vivi Vex is like that with his mother and his father, whom was a complete fucking asshole towards him. Another friend of mine, her father was an absolute asshole, as in dragging her mom and sister by their hair and also pointing a fucking shotgun at her face. Yeah, he was a fucking dick, but now and today, he is willing to change. It takes 2 to tango here. I understand here that there are abusive parents from a lot of people, but a lot of those people whom have been supreme fucking dicks to their loved ones, I mean, the people that they're supposed to love and cherish for them, sometimes they're willing to change. And you have to let things go. You have to let grudges go. And apparently for you, Vegan Gains, you didn't let it go. You kept a hold of that grudge of your grandfather abusing you to the point where you basically stressed him the fuck out saying, oh, you need to be on a vegan diet. Let's run up this hill up and down, to the point where he had a fucking heart attack and you fucking recorded it. You're a fucking sadistic sociopath. This isn't the only thing that he has done here. You went as far to tell Trisha Paytas to kill herself because she's fat. Whether you people are fans of her, I'm certainly not a fan, but I wouldn't go as far as to kill herself. You also made fun of Furious Pete when he was recently diagnosed with testicular cancer. That strikes a low blow for me as well, because an old middle and high school friend of mine, Tish Nelson, is a survivor of testicular cancer. And are you going to make fun of him because he eats meat and dairy products as well? Vegan Gains, you are, judging from this picture right here, you are a complete cheater when it comes to hitting the gym here. It looks like you're a roided up piece of shit over here. It does look like you're a roided fuck here. You taking steroids. Yeah, it just goes to show that your testicles are very tiny when you're going around making fun of Furious Pete for having testicular cancer. Yeah, shots have been fucking fired, dickwad. So yeah, all I gotta say is fuck you, Vegan Gains. Honestly, fuck you. You are a deplorable piece of shit that will go as far to prove a point that go vegan, to show the suffering of your grandfather dying from a heart attack, that this is the reason why you need to be a fucking vegan. If I was your grandfather, if you were recording me, I would come back from the dead, possess you, and make you walk to a railroad so that you can get fucking hit by a fucking freight train! That is how pissed off I am! Now, I'm gonna calm down for a minute. But let me just say this, I am not attacking all vegans here. As I said in my Freely video, I am friends with a lot of vegans, and we get along fine and dandy. It's all about, if you respect my dietary choices, I'll respect your dietary choices. If you don't, we're gonna have a major fucking problem here. I apologize to all of you that I have to go through this fucking outburst here, but this really offended me. Because you know what? I never had the luxury of having a relationship, ever meeting my grandfather. I hear wonderful stories about him, yet he's fucking dead. He's fucking dead. And so is my uncle. Yeah, of course, they had poor choices in their diet and what they were putting in their bodies, but they were wonderful people. I'm gonna go calm down right now, take my dog on a walk. Without further ado, I'm Atticus the Death Meddler. Hope you like this video. Subscribe to my channel. Links are on the description below. Keep it metal. Have a wonderful day.